Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. There we go. Very short queue time today, so I like being able to just start at the title screen so people get to enjoy the Shadowbringers title screen. Yeah, thank you for lurking, Tag. Have a good sleep. And hey Lauren, welcome. Alright, late stream today. I had a big sleep in. Sorry about that. I also changed my plans around. I was planning on doing more class quests, and there's a bunch of other filler stuff to do as well. But then I remembered about how I want to have content to do, like, after raid chapters. Like for Omega, after every Omega chapter I would do something else. And I remembered that I want to keep content to do there. So to make things nice and easy, I figured, why don't I start a raid? Start Eden. So that way I can do a chapter of Eden and then see how much time I got left after that as to what I do. We've got class quests, role quests. We've got 2 level 80 optional dungeons, which I would like to do on stream because apparently they've got some interesting story connections. And one of them is the twinning with amazing music. So, and there's also the Heaven's Turn event, which just started. Sleep-ins are nice, yes. They are nice. Hey Mia, welcome. Alright, so we're going to start Eden. The 8-player raid series for Shadowbringers. Let's throw on Heat of Battle. XP. And I am White Mage. Making sure I spent my tomestones, because I'll be getting a lot throughout this raid series. Okay, it's in the middle of nowhere, I believe. Hello. Okay, so this is what Thancred and Ryne are up to. We had a little teaser after the credits of 5.0, where there's something way out beyond the borders. Way out in the empty. So we're going to find out what that is. In the middle of nowhere. One of the Crystarium guards is particularly relieved to have found you. Ah, Melchan, have you seen Ryne? She's been looking for you. Wait here, I'll go and get her. So I have no idea about the story set up for this. I do know what some of the things we're fighting are. Only some of them, though. I don't know why we're fighting them. So I'm very curious. There you are. The truth is, I need your help. Now hold on, I haven't even told you what it is yet. After you defeated Emmet Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light somewhere far to the south. In the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood. I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. I associate this music with Emmet Selk, and now I feel sad. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Uriange and I have a few theories that we plan to test, once we find whatever's causing this. The 3 of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there, just in case. So, will you come with us? Perhaps we should let sleeping dogs lie? I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Melchan. This means a lot. First of all, let's head to the derrick in Armorang. Thancred and Urianger should have everything ready by now. Alright. Where was that? Ah, there. Hey, Agnika. Oh, nice. Congrats on finishing Endwalker. Very nice. Yeah, I'm up to post Shadowbringers. I did 5.1 and now I'm doing a bunch of different loose ends before I continue on with 5.2. Hey, Blazing Blade, welcome. What is this? This looks like something out of Star Wars. Sorry to drag you all the way out here. I have a feeling you'll miss this place when you see where we're going next. It's a blessing to see thee so hale. Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah, I'm starting up Eden. Pretty excited for it. Yeah, Alexander and Omega were both so good. I hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here. No, I literally just flew. I doubt they posed any sort of challenge to her. Would that I could say the same with confidence about whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Ryne sensed turns out to be nothing of consequence, the empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that could survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-blasted wasteland poseth as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation, though for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Ryne's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation. There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Is the Sky Slipper ready, Thancred? Sky Slipper. Ready to take us wherever we need to go, aye. Back again too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. Though the light hath been expunged from Norvrant, the ambient ether of the empty is still corrupted. Dangerously so, in fact. The flood of light devastated everything in its wake. The soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. 'Tis due to this imbalance that the empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. That's why we're taking every possible precaution. Between the aetherometers I've packed and Ryne's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that, and we risk becoming sin-eaters. Since we still don't know how Chocobos and Amaro will fare in the empty, we opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order. It's quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have the parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. He seemed quite eager to see what we bring back from the empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Maud Sook at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word. Do we need, like, oxygen tanks? They said the air doesn't support life. The striped seats. Oh yeah, they look so goofy. Reminds you of Epoch from Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is still one of those games I really want to play at some point. Oh, this is the storyline where there's cute girl love? Nice. That'll be good. While I'm piloting and Ryne's navigating, you and Urianger will be free to enjoy the view and engage in rousing conversation. By that I mean, he can spend the whole time talking at you while you nod in agreement. Wow. We are very called out. Although the flood of light is believed to have expunged all traces of life from the empty, we must remain ever vigilant. We know not what we shall find. Well then, shall we? Depart for the empty. Like, do we need spacesuits, or are we just gonna go out there? We're just going. With a name like the Empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery, but this is downright depressing. To look on the land swallowed by the flood with mine own eyes, 'tis a chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of the world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the warriors of darkness and Minfilia. Ryne, are you sure we're heading in the right direction? Yes, I'm certain. There's no telling how far away it is, though. Nothing for it but to keep going, then. You two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've a good few malms ahead of us. Not much to look at, so... The car has air conditioning. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it... sleeping? The Empty. No, it's waking up. I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden? No, I don't think so. Instead of being filled with light, it is light. The first Sin Eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding the flood of light, to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. Or single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the flood, the very foe Minfilia vanquished a century ago. Huh. I have been wondering what caused the actual flood, because the Light Wardens we fought, they came after the flood. She gave everything she had, and won. But this abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is offset that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Ryne, knowest thou of what I speak? Nope. The power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature, for what was once shattered may be forged anew. That's all well and good, but don't you think we should give it a name first? Eden. Utopia in Fae. A most auspicious title. Why are we giving it a nice, pretty name when it's scary? Hey, the Grey Man. Ah, thank you for reminding me, the Grey Man. Shall make sure I do that. Hang on, I'll just make myself a note. Wii U store. Okay, thank you very much. And I hope you feel better soon. This is also the FF8 reference raid series. Ooh, okay. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up camp. I even brought a couple of tents, on the off chance, but pitching the damn things is something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? Making camp out here in the emptiness. Next to that. Hey, Pure Platinum, welcome. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I started late because I had a sleep in, but now we're starting up Eden. There's a little area we can run around in. Little base camp. Though frequent rest may allay the symptoms of prolonged exposure to the empty's ambient ether, 'twould be unwise to linger here over long. I never realised that putting tents up could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. Thancred should be back from scouting the area soon. Once he's here, we can plan our next move. That's cute. Little base camp. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment. Okay, cool. That's just the Eden equipment. Hang on, where is that exchanged? Maud Sook. Or your Maud. Okay. No mount. Rude. Whoa. Deploy the core. Ryne waits anxiously for Thancred to return from surveying the vicinity. I wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Ah, there he is. Well, that was rather uneventful. Not that I'm complaining. Did you find anything? No, thankfully. There's naught but barren plains in every direction, apart from Eden, obviously. I tried approaching it, but the brute didn't even seem to notice me. I thought it best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew. Is this FF8 music? I think it's the overworld music, isn't it? It is? Ah, cool. This is good. We should act now, before it's fully awake. Meaning what, exactly? When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of ether. Of course, that meant that all of the plants, animals, and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled to dust in the years since. Ugh. Yeah, I watched Tag play FF8. Yeah, it was cool. But the ether is still here, lying dormant. If Eden is the one that caused it, maybe it can get it flowing again. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the empty. would be cool. Now hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible? And how do you expect to control that kind of power? Ryne's aspirations may not be as preposterous as thou dost surmise. I believe Minfilia halted the Flood of Light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. And in so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. Aye, as Minfilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Ryne doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden. But such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou, Melchan? I don't know, I'm just here for the cool fights. I imagine this is easier said than done. It will put Ryne's life at risk. I mean, all of our lives are at risk just being here, I think. This is easier said than done. Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try. Very well, Ryne. You've made up your mind? So, how should we go about this? I have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that the light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core. That giant Talos had a core too. Like a beating heart, it controlled the flow of ether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we can use it to restore the etheric balance. The theory is certainly sound. By employing Aethernet shards as beacons, mayhap we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in so doing, secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must needs first have Ryne study the entity's interior, and chart us a suitable course. Interior? How big is this thing? Once we have reached our destination, I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden, and mayhap exert a measure of control over it. You can really do that, Oriange? All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul, long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning aetherology. Aww. Minfilia. Moonbreeder. Although I'm certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology. Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around in its innards, for want of a better term. In all seriousness, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you had best lead the way, Melchan. It's true that she's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on her any more than we have to. Yes, I haven't forgotten what happened when she absorbed too much light, but as Alizé said, making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. Now, I wish I could put down Wardens myself, but the simple fact is I can't, and there's no point pretending I can. That's why I'm asking Melchan. Then perhaps I could... You already have a job to do, remember? The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand, and guide us to the core. Not only that, you'll have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. He's got a point. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Yeah. This is what I do best. For lack of any better plans, this one will have to do. It's what I do best. Urgh. I've been inside big robots. I've been in whatever that dimensional rift thing was Omega made. I won't let you down. Though we will remain here, Ryne and I shall do our utmost to guide thee along the ethereal stream. After thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear they may be somewhat less reliable than those to which thou art accustomed. Yeah, Moonbreeder was such a good character. Eden's Gate Resurrection. Ooh. Getting right into it. Hi. The teleportation apparatus hath been calibrated successfully, and I believe the probability of irreversible disintegration to be relatively low. Cool. Thanks. We're ready when you are, Melchan. Hey, Eurochan. This first set was the most recent content when you caught up. Ah, nice. Yeah, no, I love inviting people from chat, so that's fine. I'll get the invites going in a second. I can't get this bloody thing lit. It must be because the aether has stopped flowing, just as Ryne said. Though if this plan of hers and Oriange's actually works, we might have to stop calling this place the Empty. That'd be nice. Okay, who would like to come? Friends list. Okay, that was Yukio. And would you like to come, Mia? Yep, sweet. Chuck you an invite. Just bringing up my little list of FF14 names. There we go. Good game? Nice. Chuck you an invite. That's 4. That's a good number. Oh yeah, I should probably look up mechanics. This mechanics guide I use hasn't had any Endwalker stuff added yet, so Endwalker trials are going to be a little bit stressful when I get there. I'll be going in completely blind. Eden. Walls are death. Okay, good to know. Pure light. 90% of the room is death. Oh god. I'm probably going to die in this one, in other words. AoEs are targeted at players. Yeah, sounds like it's mostly trying to avoid insta-death things. Sounds easy. What could go wrong there? Okay, was there anyone else who wanted to join in before we queue up? I don't know how quick the queue will pop, so... They're not all insta-death? Ah, good. I think these are the 8-mans that tripped you up the most, doing them blind on launch. Ah. I think so. We've got 4 for now. Okay. Do a ready check. We're playing Bloodborne. Ooh, hope you enjoy. The raid series that made you finally turn off party effects. That's fair. Hoorah. Raids. That's so pretty. Ryne's discovery of a vast concentration of light prompts an expedition into the barren wastelands left in the wake of the flood, known as the Empty. There, you encounter the immense and enigmatic Eden, the very first Sin Eater, and the progenitor of the destruction that all but consumed the world. Rather than seeking to end this threat once and for all, Ryne hopes to use its limitless power to restore the ethereal balance of the Empty and breathe life into the planet. However, she must first gain control of Eden's core, which is likely to have countermeasures for repelling intruders. The core. Alright. We have queued up. It'll be nice to play some more White Mage. I've been playing a lot of, been playing some Scholar. Not Scholar, Sage. Been leveling Sage. It's been fun. I've been slowly learning Sage. A few things I still don't quite understand about it, but it's pretty good. Q pop. The mount you get for the Savage version of these fights is the buggy you drive to the Empty in. Ah, that's cool. That's really cool. Ooh. Ah. Be careful. Huge amounts of ether are rushing to the core. Wait. What's that? Keeper of Knowledge. Eden Prime. Oh, this music's good. Hi. Oh, I should have asked in Cat's chat if anyone wanted to come. No, I'll do that next time. Alright, I should eat an egg. Eat egg. Egg eaten. Spear of Paradise. I think that's a tank buster. Yeah. Oh, this is such a pretty area. Eden's Gravity. Oi. Orbs. Oh, rip that person. I changed my keybinds around. Laser beam! Jeez. The Sage Shields plus Blackest Night. Such a big shield. Delta attack. Pure beam? Scared. Lasers. Everywhere. Oh, uh-oh. That's the AoE. I live just... Fragor Maximus. Don't know what that is. It's pretty. Ooh. Big. Too big. Eternal breath. We in space. We're like egg eating. Ooh. This is just the first fight, and it's amazing. We're going into space. Wow. Oh, that was such a ridiculous animation. I love it. Oh. Yes, I think Tag did summon Eden. Now that I think about it. Tag did try and like show everything in the game, so... Oh, doing the big laser. AoE, whatever. Uh-oh. Laser beam time. Nice. We did it. That was cool. Thanks all. Thanks. Bum, 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 bum. Anyone left? Yep, there you go. That's a good firework. I don't know if I want any of that. Yeah. I can check out the sets later. If I don't want them, I'll throw them. Bum 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 bum. Alex ended with Alexander Prime. This starts with Prime. Yes, that could have been a final boss fight for a wing. I'm just walking around dazed. They're all like, "Are you okay?" I went to space. It seems that we'll have to wait for the ether within Eden to stabilize before we can all teleport to the core. Though we anticipated some form of resistance, I did not foresee Eden generating a smaller replica of itself. To think that a mere fraction of its power could manifest such a powerful adversary is frightening indeed. It seems that Thancred's prediction about there being some sort of guardian was right. Thankfully, it was nothing that you couldn't handle. And I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Aethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Got yeeted into the center of the galaxy, yeah. That was so cool. Eden's core. Standing around and waiting is hardly my forte, though I dare say I'm more suited to this than whatever Urianger's doing. Though the apparatus is now in place, a number of minute adjustments must needs be made before attempting to assert control over Eden. Pretty. Once Urianger has activated the device, it's my turn. It's my turn! Lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh, does it look different from the outside? I didn't actually notice. Oh, I can check in a second. The time hath come, Ryne. And so hast thou. Watch over me, Minfilia. Is this supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Flop. Urianger. I'm unharmed, but what of Ryne? No, you listen to me! A battle of wills. Ryne, be careful! Uh-oh. Well. Oh, you just meant Eden is filled up with light ether. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it looks different from the outside now. Damn. It's huge. Wow. Well, I'm glad that's over. But for how long? The beast's fury hath subsided. It's so pretty. One fell swoop. Ryne appears to have recovered from her battle of wheels with Eden. I should let Cat's Chat know that I'm doing Eden. If anyone wants to join at any point. Why does it have a cape? Capes are cool. It worked. I'm in control now. I think. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now, thou art... Ryne, what's going on? Ah, above us. Something's coming this way. An enemy. But how dost thou... Ah, could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but... No, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside too. Lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guests, eh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied the place up. Japes are a poor substitute for a viable stratagem. Thanks, Ryne. In that case, I suggest that you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. And Melchan can welcome our airborne adversary. Ryne, find out if Eden has any defences we can make use of. Preferably ones that don't recognise us as the enemy. I'm not sure about that, but I can use the aether currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. Alright everyone, we've got work to do. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. Oh, this is cool. Descent. Marissa can join. Nice. Checking out it. Oh. I'll try chucking out invites. There we go. Invite. That's all we are. And I'll try inviting counting again. Ooh. Full raid. Full raid. Okay, I should look up the strategy while they figure out who's healing. Ooh, counting's gonna go Sage. Nice. Okay, 2. Spell in waiting. Timer until it resolves. Stack, spread, look away. Avoid the enemies floating around. Stand in circles. Okay, doesn't sound like there's anything too new or different here. Okay. Ooh, Sage. And up to E2. Alright, we'll do a ready check. I will definitely mess it up. Having finally overcome Eden in a battle of wills, Ryne is now in control of the enormous Sin Eater, which now drifts high above the empty. Your celebrations are short-lived, however. as Ryne detects the presence of unknown enemies making their way towards Eden's core, while Thangrid and Irianje rush to intercept a swarm of foes approaching from inside. You head to the upper reaches to face the threat from the above. Big floaty thing. No written guide is going to prepare me for this one. Ah, okay. The one with the birds. What could go wrong? Whoa. That was quite an impact. Antithesis Manifest. Void Walker. Okay, hi. What are you? Also, I have some actual good buff food I should probably be using. Yeah, we'll use that. Yeah. A dragon carrying a Dark Souls protagonist. Yes. Servants of the accursed light. This world is not yours to claim. By my hand, the veil between our worlds is torn open. Huh. Servants of the light? Gaze into the abyss in despair. It is too late to beg forgiveness. Your fate is sealed. Yeah. Click. Click. Okay. Okay, so that's when... Alright, so it's just delaying stuff. Interesting. And then we have to figure out what order to react to things in, I think. Interesting. I'm so confused. May shadow blot out the light. The hand of Erebos. Ah! Hand. Big hand. Hey, Jesus. Uh-oh. Jeez, you gotta be right on the edge for that. Oh. I'll get Rave up in a second. There we are. Confused. Okay, I don't actually need to spread until that runs out. Okay, yep. I think I get it. And I'm fine. Shadow Eye. Okay, so that's spell in waiting. That's not actually going off yet. That's not going off for a while, actually. Okay. Dodge the burbs. It's hard to keep track of if you don't have the person targeted. And I basically ignore the stack until a little bit later. Okay. I think I get it. Pretty cool. Yep. Okay, well this is later. I don't have to worry about this yet. Do the stack first. No, oh, it did. Nice. Gee, that was a tricky one. That was very clever. Very cool though. Bum, 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 dum. Nice. That was cool. Phew. That was cool. We killed the Dark Souls person. Still don't know if I want any of it. There you go, Kyo. You can have it all. Mo-chan, thank goodness you're unharmed. I have a ticking explosion marker on me. You better get away from me. We came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch, and quite unlike anything I've ever seen in the first. Yeah, sounds like they're from the Void or something? No, I won't let you. Damn the light. Damn you all. Who are you? What do you want? Why am I here? What is happening? I don't know. I do not have the answers for you. She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether. She didn't seem too pleased with Ryne taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. 'Tis plain she is not a sin-eater, not even in part as Vorthri was. Yet this knowledge does little to assuage my fears. for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling cooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. I'll keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what will happen when she does, but I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm, at the very least. Hey, Sabrosian, welcome. This is so cool so far. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp. Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden. I have yet to discover the means by which the exterior was breached, though 'twould appear that the fiends that Thancred and I slew were of a similar nature to those led by thine own adversary. Void-sent, in other words. Although I had my hands full trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle. That power. I've never seen anything like it. What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which Void-sent may enter. But pray tell, Ryne, didst thou make any other observations? I couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. And I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmett Selk. Though I think it unlikely that she is an Ascian, she may yet be thrall to Zodiac. Maybe we'll try to find out more once she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. It seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning. And that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery. Bum, 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 bum. Mayhap Eden hath imparted unto Ryne some manner of ancient knowledge? Nor any drop to drink. Ryne's newly formed bond with Eden's core has led to a surprising discovery. Eden screaming at Ryne sounds like that meme of the bird screeching over the other bird. I like that meme a lot. I feel a lot more confident in my ability to control Eden now. Of course, this is only the beginning. And we shall accompany thee wheresoever this path may lead. But pray tell, what manner of discovery hast thou made? I understand how Eden's power works. And therefore the true nature of the flood of light? Yes, it affected the balance of all of the aether in the empty, shifting it so far towards the umbral that it stopped flowing altogether. Ah, just like Black Rose. The power to tip the scales. And to tip them back again. That's what Eden does. It controls the balance of ether over a wide area, forcing it from one alignment to the other. Left alone, it still poses a threat, but if I can harness its power, I think I could use it to breathe life back into the empty. The trouble is, I haven't the foggiest idea of where to start. And if I go about this the wrong way, I'll do more harm than good. Thou needst not bear this burden alone, Ryne, nor should thou. 'Tis no simple matter of awakening that which lies dormant. All things in nature are inextricably linked, The elements maintain a fragile harmony, without which life cannot prosper. So, what should we do? A solution hath begun to take shape in my mind, though it will require further discussion. For the time being, let us return to camp. 'Twould be remiss of us not to involve Thancred. The area outside Eden is a private instance, but inside Eden wasn't. It is really strange. Yeah, I wonder why it's done that way. I'm curious to know what connection that girl has to Eden. If only she'd told us a bit more before she collapsed. Still sleeping soundly, I'm afraid. If I'd known she'd taken so long to come around, I'd have brought a good book or two to pass the time. My friends, I believe I have struck upon a method by which we may see this world restored. Oriange, before you go any further, allow me to make a potentially very long story slightly shorter. The plan is to control Eden and realign the ether of the empty, right? In essence, yes. However, unleashing elemental energies haphazardly will not suffice. In addition, the empty is unfathomably vast. Were we only able to effect change over one small region at a time, it would take many lifetimes to complete even a fraction of our task. Instead, our energies will be better spent on revitalizing each element in order that we might set in motion a more widespread transformation. One at a time. I hate to say this, but I don't think Eden will be able to draw out a single element without affecting the others. For that very reason, we shall select a location in which the ambient ether we wish to restore is at its most potent. Even in a dormant state, certain elements will be more prevalent and therefore more easily manipulated. Then, we rebalance the ether and return it to the land, whereupon it shall be borne on ethereal currents to the farthest reaches of the empty. But what's to prevent that element from breaking free of Eden's hold and causing a disaster of some sort? It must needs be contained. The question is, how? Melchan, indulge me a moment if thou wouldst. Pray imagine a corporeal manifestation of each of the individual elements. What dost thou see in thy mind's eye? Okay. I think I see where this is going. Surely not. Wait, Moogles? I did not see where this is going after all. Moogles? Mayhap thou art afeard to utter the fateful word. For to even speak the name primal is to invite misfortune. Though invite it we must. As the ether is drawn forth and realigned by Eden, we shall perform a summoning as Master Louisoix once did on the fields of Carteneau. As one who hath laid low countless primals, thy memories will shape the ether into a deiform entity, which must subsequently be dispersed in the traditional fashion. So, defeat it, in other words. But is that even possible? Wait, we're gonna voluntarily create primals? I break my fast on primals. It's either that or being torn to shreds. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I can. Eat primals. Yum. Lest thou forget, 'twill be no more than an approximation of a foe thou hast previously bested. I have every confidence in thine abilities, Melchan. As do I, though it might help to have some idea of what you'll be up against. Have you decided which element to tackle first? I propose water, the source of all life. As for the location, An area to the west of Norvrant was once home to the world's deepest ocean. Alas, the flood of light reduced it to a yawning chasm. Water. Yes, that seems like a good choice. I'll see if Eden can take us where we need to go. And I shall prepare for the summoning. Thancred, wouldst thou keep watch over our enigmatic antagonist? She may have vital information to impart. In the event that she becometh agitated, thou mayest have need to restrain her. Someone's got to do it, I suppose. I'll be praying for your success while I wait here, twiddling my thumbs. The gang summons a primal. Always sunny theme plates. Still, I must say I don't envy you being caught up in yet another one of Urianje's madcap schemes. Though, come to think of it, if the creature you must fight is born from your own memories and imagination, why don't you try thinking of something a bit tamer than the primals you've fought in the past? Perhaps that's not how it works. Anyway, best of luck. This is very silly. I like it. Ryne's acquitted herself well in this whole Eden business, but I think she needs to slow down a little. We're in no hurry, after all. I mean, are we still getting affected by this corrupted ether? But depending on my memory to summon a primal accurately. How do I remember Leviathan? So the walls, I watched a extreme tutorial, so I know the walls fall off and we can fall off. We can all die. Let's have fun. Leviathan is the ideal candidate to embody the element of water. Be warned that the circumstances of said summoning differ greatly from that of the primal encountered in the source, and the results are difficult to predict. It'll be fine. Eden seems to be responding well to my instructions, so we should reach our destination in no time at all. Alright, this is the place. I'll see if I can draw out the water-aspected ether. The rest is up to you, Melchan. Memories of Leviathan come flooding back. Inundation. Come flooding back. It would appear that the summoning was a success, though Leviathan hath yet to reveal himself. When you're ready, I'll have Eden teleport you there. Alright, well. Inundation. Ryne is now able to concentrate on the task of turning Eden's immense power to the task of balancing the ethereal alignment of the empty. Such a delicate task must be approached one element at a time. And Urianje suggests that the first should be water, essential to all life. However, for the ether to be restored, it must first be given shape through a process akin to summoning. As you call upon your memories of the dread Leviathan, the raging fury of the deluge begins to take form. Yeah, I remember a tweet about Eden, which is pretty funny, which I'll say later once we see what the primals look like. Let me just look at the strats, and we're just establishing who the other healer is. Number 3. Quake. Looking at the middle, losing middle. I'm sure that will make sense later. OT gets autoed during the whole fight. Okay, good to know. Player marked with yellow flower. This sounds very complicated. Sounds like there's platforms that disappear, so... well. It'll be fine. Okay. I'll do a ready check and then we'll queue up. So I was reading guide. Not sure how many of them are looking at the stream, so. Hurrah! Let's go! Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I'll be fine. What could go wrong? Ooh. Interesting music so far. Why does it have two heads? Inheritor of the world, Leviathan. Why has it got two heads? What? Oh no. It got two heads. Music is cool. Rise, oceans. Swallow this forsaken land. Well, that makes sense as to why both tanks are taking damage. They're each getting chomped by a head. And I should eat, yeah, drink another tea? Coffee, whatever that was. Markers. I'm alone. Do I smell bad? God, these sage shields are so nice. Oh, that was not the move I thought it was. Whee! All shall crumble before me. Yeah. Melchan, I'll use Eden's power. This is such a weird remix. I like it. Oh, it's a tiny little spot. This should hold for now, but be careful. Thanks, Ryne. Surge tides, crush waves, let none be spared. Whoa. Where's the little generator we have to click? Oh, that marker, okay. Oh, it's a knockback, okay. That makes sense. Whoa! This is exactly how I remember the music sounding in that fight. Your course shall feed the vortex. I'm gonna follow people. Oh god. Oh god. I'm probably dead. I lived. For now. Ah. Whee! Oh, destroying the middle now, I think. No! Rip esteem. Oh no. Hey, we ended up splitting very neatly. 4 on each side. That's it, Eden. That was great. Yeah. Leviathan with the head and the other head, or was it the tail? Yeah. That I like to think that's a reference to how we can never remember which one we're supposed to attack, the tail or the head. Is it the head or the head, or I don't know. That was cool. Can't wait to hear all the remixes. A most emphatic victory, Melchan. Unfortunately, we cannot yet be certain if the ether is behaving as predicted. Okay. That was incredible. Is that what a primal looks like? Sort of. Oh, not quite the same then. But why is that? The Leviathan of the Source was summoned by the Sahagin, to whom he was no less than a god. Without their faith, the deiform entity that we brought into existence differed on a fundamental level, though it was no less formidable. There, the manifestation relied upon Melchan's experiences of Leviathan, and may have been influenced by recollections of other water-aspected beings, leading to further discrepancies. Memories brought to life. Creation magic. But I still can't tell if our plan actually worked. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. How goes it? Leviathan had 2 heads, I don't know why. If you're finished slaying your primal, or whatever it is, I suggest you get back here on the double. There's something you ought to see. What could that be? Evidently, our only recourse is to return to our base of operations forthwith. Some of the dialogue choices you can do in this raid series are funny as hell. Ah, that's good. Nor any drops to drink. Yeah. Quest complete. Did she wake up, did she? No? Something else? Melchan, look! Oh, that's cool. Ooh. Big water crystal? Is that supposed to be there? By the 12's good grace, 'tis a marvel to behold. I never thought that a whole lake would suddenly appear like this. And we're just getting started. I only hope the burden is not too much for you, Melchan. Burden? This is fun. This music, yeah. This music's great. Oh, Emmett Silk was such a good character. Gotta be one of my favourite villains of all time. Such a profound transformation, though the change appeareth to be limited to an area no more than a few malms in diameter. You know, when I first heard Orianje's plan, I didn't know what to expect. But then that enormous crystal appeared, and water came gushing forth, and, well... Super seismic. I wonder who we're fighting now. Ryne and Orianje are considering the next step in the plan to reclaim the empty. I think this proves that the water-aspected ether is no longer lying dormant. So, which element should we realign next, Orianje? I propose Earth. Should we succeed in returning the soil's life-giving energy, the empty shall become capable of supporting the growth of flora. Imagine that! Forests in the empty! But before we begin, I'd like to know how that girl is doing. Still sound asleep. She didn't so much as stir, even when I took her helmet off. I thought it might be getting a bit stuffy in there, and I was curious to know what sort of person we're dealing with. She seems surprisingly normal, not at all like your usual void scent. I'd say she's around the same age as you, Ryne, perhaps a little older. Well, whoever she is, we should let her rest, while we concentrate on the task at hand. As much as I'd love to go with you, I'd best stay here in case she wakes up and is feeling less than cooperative. And while I wait here wishing I had something to read, my thoughts will be with you as you fly off to face the next opponent. It must be a strange feeling to bring something into existence through your own willpower, only to slay it immediately after. I almost feel sorry for the poor things. All the same, I wish you luck. If all goes well, he won't be waiting for long. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can see the results. Yeah, I really like the Warriors of Darkness in the Heavenswood patches. This to the core. Bum, bum, bum. Once more unto the empty, dear friend. Thou art prepared, I presume? Yes. Sort of. Now, before we embark on our journey, there is one question I feel I should ask. Where are we going? That's kind of important to know. I would suggest a certain region that lieth east of Norvrant, which was once home to the great Mount Atlas. And for the Earth-aspected primal we wish to invoke, what could be a more fitting choice than Titan? I don't think I've heard of that one. What's it like? Stompy stomp. He is worshipped by the kobolds. The landslides. The landslides. It seems like you had a rather traumatic experience. But if our last battle is anything to go by, this one will be different from the Titan that Melchan remembers, yes? Aye. 'Twould be wise to consider the two as entirely separate beings. As such, thou must needs conceive new stratagems if thou art to triumph in the battle to come. Past experience will avail thee naught, I fear. Alright, Melchan. Once you're ready, we'll be on our way. It took a while, but we've finally arrived. Ready, Melchan? Memories of Titan come tumbling back. Sepulture. Heard horror stories of EU players doing Titan when the game first came out. On launch, all the EU servers were in Canada for some reason. Ew. Oh, yuck. Remember, the primal will almost assuredly be vastly different from that which thou didst lay low on the source. The terrain around here seems a bit rough, but Eden can give you something more level to stand on. Koji will never stop. A rock in a hard place. Oh no, there's more landslides, of course. Oh yeah, I'll quickly look at strats. Dodge in and out of marked squares. Stand behind the not glowing pillar. Giant arrows pulsing outwards. Get lots of space behind you. Ah, that's another knockback, I think. Ah, there's bombs. Oh no, not the bombs. Get to side with 2 squares. I'm gonna die. Having successfully realigned the element of water following your triumph over Leviathan, the next candidate for restoration is Earth, in the hope that the empty will soon become able to support life. As before, you draw upon your experience of primals fought on the source to shape the ether, this time recalling your fateful encounter with the Lord of Crags, Titan. Okay. I'm just going to follow people because it sounds like there's a lot. Alright. We're ready. Ready to check. So much for coming. A We go. Heritage of Crags, Titan. Really? Alright. Okay. This looks like a transformer. Honestly, this does look like something I would come up with. From the heart of a mountain I rise. Did I mix up kobolds and goblins again? Evil Earth. Oh, I see. It's one of those things where... Yeah, okay. Yee. Stone Crusher. Sounds like a tank buster. Oh, look at all those shields on the tank. Crumbling down. Wow. This music is pretty messed up. I like it. Geo Crush. Wow. Tempered in the flows of the mountain's core, my rage is eternal. Massive landslide. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Rip. I'm surprised I lasted that long in these fights. Thank you. Little tiny... Oh, those are bombs, are they? Oh, it's a big one. I'm scared. I am unbreakable, unstoppable. Oh my god, yes! He's got a little buggy! He's got a fucking buggy! This is amazing. Oh my god. Titan cart. Bomb boulders. Oh, big one. Oh. See? Evil Earth. Earth is evil. Oh, a little bit too early. There's too much happening. Yes! Yum! Oh god, no! This boss is great. You must have missed the part where he turns into a truck. Oh. It's so cool. Thank you. I live. Sort of. Paradise found. That was amazing. I love that. Tank. Feels like No-Chen took some of the Wandering Minstrel's lessons to heart. Yes. Hidden gate complete. Ryne's like, you must have a pretty bad memory, huh? Oh, is there a minion? Oh, you can roll too if you need it. I feel like you have to pass on it for me. Oh, thank you. Should probably look up if I actually want any of this. I'll do that later. I'll probably be redoing these fights for fun a lot. You did say that Titan hit like a truck. Oh, that was amazing. Where's my little minion? Oh, there it is. Eden Minor. Free of sin, though not for lack of trying. That was amazing. Well fought, Mel-Chan. Well fought indeed. That thou wert able to triumph over this avatar of primordial rage is testament to thy puissance. I died twice, but thank you. Welcome back. You must be exhausted. For a creature made of rock, he was a lot more agile than I was expecting. I wonder, was the Titan of your world a tough opponent too? He never stood a chance against me. Yes, if I put 1 foot wrong, I would have fallen to my doom. Yeah, it's pretty easy to die on Titan. So all it would have taken is a momentary lapse of concentration. I don't like the sound of that. But more importantly, you've defeated another elemental being, which means we're a step closer to reclaiming the empty. I can't wait to see how much of a difference we've made this time. Bum, bum, bum. Canonically, the reason Eden Titan is a mech because the warrior momentarily mixes up kobolds and kobolds and goblins. That is actually very funny. Did we already do all of this? Aye, 'twould appear that balance has returned to the element of earth. And yet the transformation hath affected only the immediate vicinity, whereas the lands beyond this lake doth remain unchanged. 'Tis passing strange indeed. Did we do something wrong? Though this falleth short of the outcome I had envisioned, 'tis plain our efforts were not in vain. Mayhap this localized phenomenon is a result of the intersection of ethereal currents. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that similar locations in the empty have undergone comparable alterations. Then the ether will spread out from these points to cover the rest of... Uh-oh. Ryne! You can't mitigate the brain damage from taking 20 tank busters every day. Perhaps asserting her will over Eden hath taken its toll. Are you alright? Yeah, also we've been here for a while. This corrupted ether's probably not good. The next piece of the puzzle. Ryne appears to have been overcome by exhaustion. Yeah, the Warrior of Light's been through a lot. A lot. It's nothing. That didn't look like nothing to me. You'd better lie down for a while. No, really, I'm fine. Anyway, we've still got work to do. Nay, Thancred hath the right of it. 'Twould be unwise to exert thyself overmuch. I appreciate your concern, but I do wish you'd stop fussing. Ryne, thou knowest not the strain thou dost place on thyself. Though the elements of water and earth have been restored, continued exposure to the empty, stagnant ether may yet sap thee of thy remaining strength. Now that you mention it, I've been feeling a bit out of sorts ever since we got here. I should probably get away from the empty and rest for a while. Pray do so. Meanwhile, I shall remain here. The restoration of the first two elements hath produced unexpected results, and I require time to analyse our findings. However, I must ask thee to refrain from discussing our work in the empty, even with our closest comrades. Why? I thought they'd welcome the news. And indeed they shall, once we have more to show for our efforts. Nevertheless, this mission is one of surpassing danger. I am loath to place our dearest friends at risk, unless absolutely necessary. You have their best interests at heart, I'm sure, but to be perfectly honest, I prefer not to keep secrets from people that I trust with my life. I don't want to make a habit of this, but I'll do as you ask. Ryne, stop keeping secrets! Stop it. No, wants us to keep secrets too. It seems to me that Ryne isn't the only one who would benefit from a change of scenery. Our sleeping beauty would likely fare better in more hospitable surroundings. We'll need to have our associates from the Crystarium organise a safe place for her to stay. If you and Melchan could go on ahead and have a word with them in Mord Souk, we'll catch up with you once Ryne is finished whatever it is he needs to do. Perhaps thou, too, shouldst accompany her on the return journey. I dare say she would be glad of thy presence. No, not this time. She's come such a long way since we first met, and I worry that relying on me too much will only hold her back. We won't be staying in the First forever. The time will come for Ryne and I to part ways, and for her to follow her own path. I know you understand this too, Oriange. I see you trying to pass on as much of your knowledge as possible while you still can. And to her credit, she's actually taking most of it in. Ryne is possessed of a natural affinity for aetherology, unlike some who shall remain unnamed. A natural affinity for staying awake during your lectures, more like. Though, come to think of it, she doesn't really take after me at all. However, like thee, she is predisposed to brooding in silence in lieu of voicing her concerns. What is going on here? Says the master of keeping his card close to his chest. Anyway, Melchan, you'd better take the sky slipper with Ryne. It's true that she's been through a lot lately, but so have you. We'll need you ready for the challenges that lie ahead. So go on and get some rest. We shall await news of thy safe arrival in Armorang. Bum 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 bum. Please don't discuss this with the others. Or rather, we don't want to have to write a bunch of alternate dialogue based on when you started this quest line. Okay, that makes sense from a development perspective. As there is little risk of our camp being ransacked, it may be left unattended in our absence. I don't know, we still don't know where that girl came from. There might be more of them. We'll have to decide whether it's worth posting Crystarium guards to watch over Eden while we're gone. It seemed like you were all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Well, if you say so. I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So, do you want to take first ship piloting, or shall I? Vroom. We're back already. That was a quick trip. Phew, I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I've no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. But before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. I wonder what Oriange is going to lie to us, is going to lie about to us this time in Endwalker. When I first spoke to Thancred and Oriange about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we've found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I'd given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Whatever the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person, like you or me. Obviously, she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her, to find out who she is, and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. What's to say she won't try it again when she wakes up? If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do, Mel-chan? If Alphino were here, he'd talk things through with her. Even Emmett Selk had his reasons. We should at least hear her out. There's not much we can do until she's awake. Alfie, he'd talk things through with her. Yes, like that time in Yulmore. Even when confronting Vorthri, he tried his hardest to find a peaceful solution. Hopefully, she'll be a bit more willing to listen. Until then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see to Urianje's errands. The people we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper and most of the apparatus we've been using. And since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Yeah, it was Graha who kind of shoved that burden onto Urianje's shoulders. The second time. Well, I think we're about to finish up the first wing. Do you think I should do try the second wing today, or should I leave that for another stream? What do you all think? Been going for about 2 hours. That might... Is the other one, the next one, another 2 hours? Bit careful of my voice. Okay. I suppose I can always, like, stop halfway through it if I feel like I need to rest. I will want to finish the second set. Yeah, I'll definitely finish off the Eden story arc before continuing MSQ. No worries. Thanks for helping. 6 and 6 might be a good balance. Yeah, that might be good actually. Yeah, we'll see what the time is once I'm partway through the second wing. Alright, we'll keep going with Eden because I'm having a blast with it. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to 2 members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. Hello. That's Gulgul, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently, he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now, the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Hello. Ah, Ryne. What a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Mel-chan, I'd like you to meet Luri. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I am here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. I'll be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably best not to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here, Mel-chan. You should get some rest. But before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Spells feed. Ah, 5.3 is written as if you've done the first 2 sets, but not the final. Ah, interesting. Can take a look at the sets. Ooh, yes, I'll have to do that. Also, why are they still back there? Are they not... We took the only ride. Are they just stuck there now? I hope they don't get sick from either or whatever. I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Ryne and Melchan until we know more. Ryne, stop it! Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. The Oracle of Darkness. Oh! What does that mean? I pray it is not true. Interesting. Oh, okay, you can't actually do the third tier until after 5.3. Ah, interesting. Okay. Thank you. I did not know that. Ooh, several blue quests. Away with the fairy. And what's this one? Greetings, Melchan. How might I be of service? First report. Ah, is this the Savage unlock? Okay. Information regarding the work being carried out in the empty is treated with the utmost secrecy. To avoid it falling into the wrong hands, we limit the keeping of records and such to the bare minimum. Having said that, it does become rather difficult to keep track of the supplies that we deliver, so I have asked Ryne to provide reports on your activities. The first such report will cover the time from your arrival in the empty to your battle with Titan. Though, truth be told, I cannot help feeling that this was rather a large burden to place on Ryne. No doubt she has enough on her plate as it is. Luri, I did what you asked. Ah, Melchan. Just the person I was hoping to see. Oh, is that so? Well, before we go any further, please allow me to take receipt of the report. And I hope you do not think it impertinent of me to ask, but what business might you have with Melchan? Actually, I've brought something to show you. Thancred and Urianger brought this back from Eden's core. If you look closely, you can see images of your battles in the empty. Urianger seems to think they are Eden's memories, captured in crystal form. Would you like to see? Shiny. As you gaze into the crystal, visions of previous struggles race through your mind, with an intensity that far exceeds anything you have experienced. What's wrong? I unlocked Savage mode. Different from how you remember it? How odd. What could cause Eden's memories to become so distorted? Well, we've been extracting and realigning enormous amounts of ether. Maybe that affected the crystal in some way. Even so, I expect that we can find a use for this extraordinary artifact. I think I have an idea. Although it shows images of things that never actually happened, studying them may help us to prepare for the challenges we'll face in the future. Speaking of studying, Urianger has given me a few tomes to read through before our next expedition. I'd best get back to it, but I'll be seeing you again soon. Some of the Eden savages are rude. Sounds like fun. E8S and E10S. Ooh. Ask about Eden. That strange girl you met in the empty is in our custody. Her location is a closely guarded secret, and she is being monitored night and day for any changes in her condition. We have also been treating any information regarding your mission as strictly confidential. It would cause quite a stir amongst the peoples of Northrite were it to become public knowledge, but we cannot afford for anyone to interfere with our work. Fortunately, the majority of the tasks we perform, such as delivering supplies and equipment, tend to go unnoticed for the most part. In order to maintain this status quo, I and my colleagues will continue to lend our support in as discreet a manner as possible. Okay. Relic. Oh my god, that's a lot. What's the verse gear look like? That's the one we're about to do. Maiming. What's the maiming? That's kind of cool. Look through those later and decide which ones I want. Antiques are normal, Apocrypha is savage. Okay, that makes sense. Away with the fairy. Yalfort has arrived in Mordsuk bearing pertinent information. Ah, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the highly classified and very, very secret thing. The fact of the matter is, I've come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Yalfort, and Melchan too. We heard the news from Thancred. Is it true? Why yes, it most certainly is. Apparently, her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yulmore, although she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. Gaia. She's lost her memory? Parts of it, at the very least. We also cannot be sure whether she's telling the truth, or if it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. And Thancred's with her now, is he? Yes, he's taken her to Yulmore, mainly to verify what she's told us so far. Quiz the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I'd anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. At all. I do hope nothing is amiss. Quest accepted. Good grief, are you always this slow? At this rate, it'll be dark again before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it does make each day seem awfully short. Are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got a purpose, would you? Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? I like her already. Thancred, you're back. You lot are a sight for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Oriange. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yulmore. I'm glad we could finally meet. Properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbours barely knew the first thing about her. Hells, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yulmore is patchy at best. but she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. And for her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. If you insist on standing around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Yeah, it's probably those horrible shoes. Then perhaps you should have chosen more sensible footwear. Ha! Still, it's not such a bad idea. Shall we? Tsundere goth, tsundere goth. Whose giant hairdryer is this? Oh. I love that movie. Spaceballs. I've got so many things I want to ask, but I probably shouldn't bombard her with questions. Amnesia. 'Tis troubling, though not entirely unexpected. Well, I've given you my early impression on Gaia, but I would be interested in hearing your opinion. Go on and talk to her and see what you make of her situation. You know, Spaceballs almost by heart. Ah, Gaia was designed by Tetsuya Nomura, who did Kingdom Hearts and FF7 among others. Ah, that's cool. Ah. So, you don't remember anything at all? Not attacking us? Not falling unconscious? Such selective amnesia would rightly raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. Yet if she doth speak the truth, it would lend credence to my current hypothesis, though admittedly some further... Not now, Ariane. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After much deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty, as a sign of goodwill. After all, trust works both ways. Though I would ask you, Melchan, not to let your guard down just yet. So you're the one I'm supposed to have fought? Come to think of it, I recognise you from somewhere. Maybe I just have one of those faces. So you should, considering you tried to kill me. I just got one of those faces, you know. I'm not going to be all mad about her fighting me if she wasn't in control. Or perhaps you just didn't make much of an impression. But to be honest, I do feel that since meeting you, those hazy memories are becoming slightly clearer. It's like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realise those things actually happened. It's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Thou speakest as though thou didst expect these events. I guess you could say that. It's what the fairy tells me. I can't see it, but it's as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. It whispers to me and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. And this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayest call forth the aether-starved denizens of what remaineth of the 13th? What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words at me? Honestly, I don't know how you all put up with this. I've only just met him, and his insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. God, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation. And to think that I was flying about in a suit of armour, waving a sword. That doesn't sound like me at all. Someone else inside you. Like Minfilia was inside me. Not pictured you being unceremoniously pushed out of the chair for the cutscene. This is referencing the whole deal with Laguna in 8. Ah yeah, that makes sense. Aye, the similarities cannot be ignored. Though it is too early to say with certainty, Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? It means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with Emmett Selk. Those who have been used as a living host by an Ascian have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession. This I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself, even when she heard the voice within, much like you and Minfilia. And though Ryne was very much her own person, Minfilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of our dear departed friend. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. But I was born like this, and my parents, they both had black hair too. Or at least, I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them. I can't remember too well. But enough about me. You're Minfilia, aren't you? The Oracle of Light, who they were hosting in Yormore? That's right, though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yormore and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. I see. And how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it all started when... Explain. Gesturing. Yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad, and Lord Vorthry fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. From what Gaia's told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us. But how was she able to resist Vorthry's control? Mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. As curious as that may be, we still don't know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as Eden took flight. This is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy reacted to it in some way, and for whatever reason, made me go after it. Yes, that seems like the only explanation. I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. What? But why? The fairy wanted something from Eden, and knowing what that is will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat. So I'm going, and that's that. Gaia, wait! Insufferable. Utterly insufferable. And yet we can't well leave her to our own devices. Come on. You meant that literally. Rip Kyo. She can't have gone far, especially not in those heels. Yeah, that's valid. Get away from me. Ugh. Gaia. It seems I've no choice. Darkness. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna explode. That's so cool. That's great. Yeah, she does look very out of place next to the other characters, doesn't she? What am I? Her power's cool. A most fascinating application of ethereal manipulation. The destructive blast did manifest a significant span of time after the initial casting. With sufficient mastery of such a technique, a second spell could be made to smite the target at precisely the same moment. While it would demand exceptional ethereal control, its technical potential cannot be denied. Powers befitting the Oracle of Darkness. When you fought Gaia, she opened void gates, yes? Back in the Source, portals such as those were all too common, but tearing open the veil between the 1st and the 13th is a different matter entirely. We should be thankful that she's not of a mind to turn that power against us. For now. I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed, but I'm glad she's unharmed. Lots of turtles stomping around here. What are you all gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I'll see magic like that. So, this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it has whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. But there are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armour appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all is the dark energy that comes from inside. This power, it feels as though it's only flowing through me and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for the spells to work. So in summary, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. Unfortunately, it's part and parcel of travelling through Amarang, and while I understand that you want answers, you're not going to find them unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. Ryne, think about what you're saying. You're seriously considering taking Gaia to see Eden? There's no telling what might happen if he loses control again, so the safest option is for her to stay away until our work is done. Somewhere we can keep an eye on her. You must realise, it's for her own good. I must concur with Thancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origin, and less still of her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. In full knowledge of the risks, dost thou still wish to pursue this course? I do. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good too. But if we shut Gaia away for our own inconvenience, we're no better than Vorthri and Ranjit. I've learned that when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. Now it's my turn, to do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Well, can't say fairer than that. How about you, Urianger? The light of thy spirit doth burn bright. Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt it necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice to say, thou hast left no room for doubt. For what it's worth, Ryne, I never doubted you. But make no mistake, the danger that Urianger and I spoke of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be right there beside you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I couldn't care less who I travel with, but if we're going to go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the southern watchtower, yes? Come along then, and don't fall behind. Well. Vroom. Hunt target. I will kill that later. Of course I'm worried about what may happen when Gaia gets close to Eden. We'll keep a close eye on her. Make sure she's alright. Though our circumstance hath changed, our mission most assuredly hath not. Restoring life to the empty remaineth our primary objective. Why couldn't you leave this craft in Maud Sook instead of all the way out here? Actually, don't bother explaining. Whatever the reason is, I'm sure it's something frightfully uninteresting. Let's be about it, shall we? It might be a bit of a tight squeeze with the 5 of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Urianger can sit on top of our luggage. I had hoped that, during our absence, the rebalancing of ambient ether might work further change. Alas, 'twas not to be. As usual, we should keep our sojourn here as brief as possible. Let's tend to business quickly. Everything seems fine here, as far as I can tell. As for Gaia, she hasn't started attacking anything yet, so I'll take that as a good sign. So, there it is. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. The bringer of the flood, the first sin eater. Would it lead me to my past or my future? Interesting text box. What awaited on the path ahead, I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. Blood and thunder. Gaia is lost in thought as she gazes towards the silent giant on the horizon. I know what it's like. It was the same for me. But I was lucky, because Thancred freed me from Yulmore, and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people, and they taught me not to live in another's shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day, you'll have that chance too. Said your piece, have you? One day? What's that supposed to mean? I don't know how the great Oracle of Light sees such things. But for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow. There was no future. Only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time. It won't wait. Not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia? That's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me my name, I couldn't remember. That's when the fairy whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, surely someone there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew had either disappeared or had been turned into sin eaters. Those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognised me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most sociable person, but still. Well, even if it's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I'll call you. And if you're willing, instead of the Oracle of Light, please call me Ryne. It's not the name I was born with. That's long forgotten now. But the one the people whom I consider family gave to me. Is that so? Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far, nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that I appeared out of the blue. Perhaps if you were to actually try flying it somewhere, the fairy might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore, or whatever it was, why don't you hurry up and get it over with? At once, your ladyship. You need to learn some manners. Learn some manners, lady. And you need to stop wasting my time. Alright everyone, I think we've talked for long enough. If you're ready, let's make our way to Eden. Bum, 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 bum. Time, it would not wait, an FF8 quote? Yeah. Sounds like it would be. Yeah, FF8 had a lot of time shenanigans going on. My memories. I think they're slowly coming back to me. Oh. My mother and father would constantly blather on about how the flood of light could return to end the world when we least expect it, and that we should live each day as though it were our last. I would often say, they would often say, I wish this moment would last forever. That was until they were selected for ascension by Lord Vorthry, and were never to be seen again. Since I had no other relatives, or even any close friends to speak of, I was left alone in the world. A past like that hardly seems worth remembering, does it? Sad. Ryne's little chat with Gaia reminded me that, for all our obvious differences, there are things we have in common. I, too, grew up not knowing who my parents were. The day Louis Soir gave me the surname Waters was one I'll never forget. Years later, it was under rather more desperate circumstances that I gave a certain young girl the name Minfilia. Little did I know then that it would end up crossing time and space, taking on a meaning I could never have foreseen. It came to be passed on to one girl after another, binding them to a fate not their own. In a sense, it may be said that I chose not only one, but two names for Ryne. But by whatever name she is called, she is truly her own person now. And as central to our lives as names are, I believe that it isn't the name itself, but the bond it symbolises that matter most. I've done some reading about the lands swallowed up by the flood, but it's no easy task to find locations with a dominant element. I'm glad we have Urianger to point us in the right direction. Yeah, I'd love to see that actually, Mia. I love watching raid progression. At least the highlights. Yeah, no, I'd love to see that. That'd be cool. Following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the empty have displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability, some may call this, and be satisfied. But in truth, it is passivity. A passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, a third element, that shall rouse and stabilise those unleashed energies in activity. Therefore, I propose lightning. So the primal would be Ramu, yes? From what I've heard, he's a guardian of the forest, and not particularly keen on conflict. But you've actually fought him, haven't you? He's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. I spent most of the time chasing after orbs with varying degrees of success. He's beard. He's the beard primal. The primal of beards. Ah, yes. Thancred mentioned that he more closely resembles a person than a beast, unlike most other primals, and apparently he tends not to move about much. I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say. If we want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I should picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try. But the rest is up to Melchan. In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than spitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't you get this blasted thing moving first? One must admit, the suggestion is not without merit. Ryne, might I suggest the Gandalf Thunder Plains as our next location? Gandalf? Really? Gandalf? These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds, the only source of illumination, the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether that lingereth there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. Then that's where we're heading. Come on, Eden, we've got a job to do. The Thunder Plains, yes, yeah, actually I remember that. The element of light is stasis after all, yeah. That does make sense. This should be as good a spot as any. Alright, Melchan, whenever you're ready. Memories of Ramuh flash through your mind. Ramuh had my favourite music of the Realm Reborn Primals. So we'll see what the remix is like. Fulmination. Although Gaia, the girl who had previously launched an attack on Eden, has finally awoken, her amnesia prevents you from learning much of her origins. For the time being, the best course of action appears to be continuing with efforts to restore balance to the ambient ether of the empty. The next element is lightning, which once ravaged the Gandalf Thunder Plains in the time before the Flood of Light. Your memories of Ramuh give corporeal form to the crackling ethereal energies drawn forth. Accurate memories. Stopping after E5 might be ideal. Maybe, yeah. Alright, well, we shall do E5 and see how we go. Alright, sorry for the delay. So we have space for one more if anyone wanted to pop in. Let's queue up for Sav. No. Wrong data center. Alright, here we go. Oh, yeah, I didn't look at a guide. Oh no! I've got to look at a guide quickly. Pick up orbs as they spawn. Okay. Some mechanics knock them off of you. 4 is bad. Don't pick up 4. Clouds. Don't think of Ixion. Uh-oh. I will not think of Ixion. 3 horses to east? What? Something about horses. I don't really understand what it's saying. Okay. We'll see what happens. Oh, have we got a techno remix?
There's no turning back. Get ready.
Voice acting. Hell yeah. They don't usually have voice acting in Heritor of Levin. Ramuh?
This is Ramu.
Sure?
Come on.
Where's the beard? Oh, hey, Amoeba. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. Where's the beard? This isn't Ramu. I'm doing Eden for the first time. Thou wouldst forge this world anew? I, Ramu, shall test thy worth. I kind of like the centaur design though. That's cool. Large fluffy tail. Oh, is that where the beard went? The tail. That's great. Just gonna follow these people. Orb. I got an orb. Okay, that's for the clouds. From the storm of my judgment, thou shalt not escape. This remix is interesting. With all my might, I smite thee. I got 2 stacks. Pew pew. Oh, I should eat some food. Eat an egg. Consume an egg mid-battle. Ah! Knockback? Okay. Ah! Noble beasts of the Levin. Horses. Oh, don't want to lose my surge protection. Small. Oh, rip that person. Struck by lightning, Ramu is invigorated. Is that good? Oh god. I have no swift cast, so I can't res at the moment. Nope, don't worry. Trying to decide if I should grab an orb. Okay, I got an orb. It said don't go to 4 stacks, so this is max stacks, I think. Lightning! Yeah. I do it. Horses! Horses! Oh god! Ow. I was scared of horses. Look, horses are very strong, okay? I like this remix. It's pretty good. Are we? Are we? Oh god. I'm okay, I'm just bad. Oh god. I had 3 vulnerability stacks. I'm fine. Thank you. Horses. Knock back. There we go. Got some surge protection. Yeah. Nice. I did much better that time. Seems better to stay away from other people in different lanes. That was cool. Centaur Ramu. Needs more beard, but was cool apart from that. Yeah, the fight remix is such a good idea. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that one person's getting all the commendations. I'll pass on these for now until I know what sets I want to get. That was fun. These fights have all been so good so far. So many fun things for me to do on different classes. That was cool. Thanks for the help counting. Alright, thanks all for the help. Yeah, alright, I think I'll call it there then. Might call Eden there then. We'll continue next time. I'll hand in the quest. How do we do the ARR primals with everything we've learned up to Shadowbringers? Yeah. That was cool. Although, how many people are still here and wanting to do stuff? Because we could do the twinning to finish up the stream. So that thing was created based on your memories? Maybe there's a way we can use Eden to summon the fairy like that. Down for the twinning? Ooh, alright, we'll do twinning. I had my eye on Gaia the entire time you were fighting Ramu, and besides the sort of reaction you might expect from someone watching you take on a half-man, half-flying horse thunder god, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. The fact that Eden itself also showed no signs of being affected by her presence can only be a good thing, but I'd understand if Gaia herself were more than a little disappointed that she's no closer to the answers she seeks. Once again, 'twas a most superlative display of thy puissance. Now, I could not fail but notice that body did belong to Ixion, fabled equine embodiment of lightning. Hast thou perchance encountered the beast? I forget, which one was Ixion? Have I fought Ixion? I've definitely seen it before, but I don't know if I've fought it. FF10 electric. Oh, okay. It's not actually. Okay, yep. That's not actually in 14. I thought I was prepared to expect anything, but I didn't expect Ramu to turn out quite like that. Appearance aside, he was quite aggressive as well. The Sylph's belief in him as a kindly guardian clearly makes a difference to his temperament. Anyway, I'm just glad it's over. Let's get back to the camp and see if anything's changed. A fate boss in the last zone of Stormblood. Oh, okay. He's in... Oh, okay. I think he's the one world... No, yeah, I haven't fought him yet. I did fight the Fox, but I have not fought Ixion yet. Cool. I'll have to go fight that. I'll check the Hunt Discord. The crystal's a different colour, but apart from that, it all looks the same. It may look the same, aye, but it feels different. The air has grown slightly more humid, as it does before rain. I have to say, I'm not exactly prepared for wet weather. If Eden can control elements and so on, can't you tell it to send those clouds somewhere else? Speaking of which, I'm not very impressed with its so-called powers. If changing yellow crystals to purple is the extent of its abilities, it's no surprise the fairy didn't bother showing up. I hope that whatever's next is more worthwhile. Oh, you never seen the Fox Lady? Ah. It was on Diablos at some point. But yeah, there's a Hunt Discord that I use that I can link you to if you want. Which is good for if you want to see the boss fates. Rather than influencing the ground beneath our feet, Eden hath brought change to the firmament above. And yet 'tis clear that a more dynamic element is required for the natural cycle of precipitation and evaporation to be complete. So we need movement. Would wind do the trick? Most certainly. Oh, man, I want to see what Garuda looks like. Oh, we gotta stop for today, though. It seems we have a plan. Let's not dwell too much on the effects of each individual element, and instead focus on seeing them all restored. The power of an oracle. Not to be sniffed at, it seems. All my life, you were a constant companion, your voice ever seeping into my mind. Why then, of all times, did you abandon me? Then. Deaf even to the crashing of thunder? Or were you simply biding your time? Ah, okay. One plan fails to achieve the desired effect, so you move on to the next with minimal brooding and prattling. It seems we're finally learning. I'm not sure what I was expecting to see after restoring the lightning element, but I did feel a little disheartened. Still, as Thancred and Urianger say, there are changes taking place, even if they're not immediately obvious. As much as I bemoan Urianger's long-winded explanations, we'd be lost without him to take care of all the ethereal science and whatnot. Obviously, I'm quite sparing with my praise, as I wouldn't want it to go to his head. Alright, well, we'll do this one next time. Ooh. Fire. Oh, we're going to do fire, not wind? Interesting. Well, that will be for next time. Welcome, not another. Welcome to the stream. That was cool. Man, Eden's fun. I really like these fights. I can't wait to do more of them. Alright, well, let's go do the twinning before we finish up the stream. So I haven't unlocked it yet, because the story seems... If I'm going to show it on stream, I might as well show the story properly, right? It's over in Crystarium. It seems to have something to do with the Crystal Tower. You dropped in with Ami's raid. Ah, nice. Very good. Yeah, thank you again for the raid, Amoeba. By the time you hear this, I think this is the one. Yeah, so each expansion has a bunch of optional dungeons, especially at max level. I haven't really shown them up until now because I've just been treating them as side content that I can do in my own time. But the twinning is rather infamous for incredible music. So I wanted to do that on stream. And it seems to be interesting from a story perspective too. By the time you hear this, Bethana of the Crystarium Guard has a look of grim determination in her eyes. Excuse me, a word if you would be so kind. We of the Crystarium Guard have a request to make of you. Our researchers are planning to enter the Crystal Tower to learn more of its history. However, there is a problem. Now, what I'm about to reveal is strictly confidential. Were word to get out, panic would spread throughout the citizenry. Our scouts have reported that ferocious beasts and bizarre machines roam the hallways. Until we can eliminate these threats, none may enter. Strange ethereal readings have also been detected, and we suspect that the phenomena are linked. The Exarch has ordered us to seek your aid in making the tower safe for our researchers to go about their work. He mentioned that you are better equipped than most to face the dangers that lurk in the tower, though he elected not to go into detail. Is this true? Yeah, I guess. Then your prior experience may prove beneficial. Come, let us proceed to the entrance. To a dungeon in the Crystal Tower. And, so who we still got in the group? We've got Mia and Kyo. And I think Counting was... Yeah, Counting was actually heading off, so... Oh, it's a cross-world party. Yeah, Counting's offline. Okay. There we go. We've got 3. If anyone wanted to come for the twinning, feel free to hop on. We've got 1 spot. Hi. I take it your preparations are complete? Listen carefully. You are to lead a party of elite troops into the tower and respond to any hostility with lethal force. Once the way is clear, the researchers can begin their expedition. Our main objective is to identify the source of the ethereal disturbance. The tower cannot be considered safe until we do. Should you encounter any opposition beyond your capabilities, you are to withdraw immediately. I wish you the best of luck. The twinning! The queue you're in popped? No worries. Yeah, I'm on Diablos Crystal. That's alright though. We can just get a random for the last spot. Unfortunately, we have only limited information regarding the inner reaches of the tower. The scouts who were able to escape with their lives were in many cases rendered insensible. Oh. Ready to rock out? Yes. Oh, I've heard this song, it's so good. No worries. Yeah, I'm on the Crystal Data Center. For now. When the Oceanic servers come out, I'll probably be swapping over there. Since its sudden appearance in Norvrant, the Crystal Tower has been a source of great mystery, one which the people of the Crystarium have barely begun to unravel. Now that the city is free from the threat of the Light Wardens, researchers have been afforded the opportunity to explore the innermost reaches of the tower, though they soon found their way barred by hordes of ferocious guardians. An ethereal disturbance detected from inside is believed to be in some way linked to their appearance, and you have been tasked with not only clearing a path for the researchers, but with investigating the cause of the anomaly. They used this track in the Shadowbringers job actions trailer. Ah, nice. Yes, it's so good. Okay, oh, I should bring up my little guide. Since we're going to have a random with us, I don't want to be being horrible. The twinning. Sword markers, yeah. Stack marker. Cannons come out and around the arena. Okay. Alright, just kind of lots of paying attention to my surroundings. Alright. We outnumber them, I can be as horrible as I want. Not like they can do anything about it. True. Alright. Oh, no worries counting. No worries. Well, a lot of people have turned in for the night. It is pretty late over in America, so... So I'm going to continue Eden next time. And we're going to do a quick run through the twinning. I'm just going to drink some water, and then we'll queue up. Yeah, thank you very much for coming along for Eden. That was really cool. Eden was so cool. I can't wait to redo those fights a whole bunch as different classes. Okay. I shall queue us up. Oh, quick little ready check. Just a cheeky little ready check. Yeah, the twinning. Music. I've been looking forward to this dungeon ever since I saw the twinning meme all the way back in Realm Reborn. Oh. Oh, we got a machinist. Nice. Make sure music's turned up. I think it is. That's right. I can turn sound effects down. I can enjoy the music more. Yeah. The Dark Invitation. Oh, did we just happen to get matched up with your friend Kyo? That's cool. Oh, that's cute. Wow. Okay, I probably shouldn't have stood there. I'm fine. Ugh. Bloody Minotaurs. Boing! Blood lily. Oh, that looks bad, wherever that is. Oh, hello. Alpha Zagnol. Oh, dungeon music. I guess this will do for now. Ah, I see. A line attack. That's cool. Oh, hi. Hello. Oops. Was that me? It burns. I'm gonna go over here. Oh god, sorry, I nearly killed you, Q. That's my bad. I was trying not to bait it towards the things. Where did it? Yes, music's back. This is very different from the Crystal Tower we did as a raid. Don't remember this part. Oh. Text. Our only hope lies in the Crystal Tower, though it did not yield its secrets easily. Even opening the doors was a monumental undertaking. Without the Founder's dialogues and the Noah reports left by the Sons of St. Koinak, we would never have stood a chance of succeeding. None of us were prepared for the spectacle that awaited us when we first stepped into the tower. To be surrounded by the marvels of a lost age took our breath away, and there, at its centre, we found him. Nice. Thanks. Oh god, what is... They've got like test tube things in their eyes. Oh, that's messed up. Blood lily. Fire! That thing's dead. Ooh, more dialogue. Data log. I'm going to read this while healing. It'll be fine. Our research into the Emperor's throne is almost complete. Hang on. You need a heal? There you go. Got a heal. Alright, maybe I'll focus on healing, eh? As we now understand the methods used to open a doorway to the world of darkness, otherwise known as the 13th. However, this is only the beginning of our plan. Even if we find a way to the first, it is already too late to prevent the 8th umbral calamity. For that, we must travel not only to another world, but to another time. Thankfully, the data logs gathered over the years, detailing battles with various primals, pointed us in the right direction. The Ironworks Research Alexander. Oh, is that what they mean? That's cool. Just as we thought the pieces were in place, we came to the realization that traversing time and space has its difficulties. It is one thing to possess the technology necessary to enable such a feat, quite another to actually perform it. The interdimensional rift, as it was called in the Founder's data logs, is what can only be described as infinite chaos. To navigate it would take expertise far beyond our ken. There was, however, once a being capable of exactly that, the one known as Omega. And yet, despite all of the research carried out, the mystery of how it was able to cross the rift remains unsolved. This ties into Omega. Interesting. Mithridates? Robot moth. The machinist robot. That's cool. I've got a level machinist. Orbs. Oh, orbs. Orbs hurt. Laser blade. Instead of razor blade? Ha, I get it. Oops. I'm full on lilies. Should spin them. Yes, spin the lilies. Spin lily, obtain blood lily. Yeah. Cool looking design. Woohoo! Oh god, it's very green. I think Steve would like it here. Oh wow. Oh god. The first boss from this dungeon is from FF13, and the second from 13-2. Ah, that's cool. Bum, bum, bum. Do, do, do. Ooh. Do, 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 do. One of your favourite enemies coming up? Not even the boss, just a mob? Ah, okay. Woohoo! Dimensional break. Ooh. That thing's cool. Oi. Donuts. There's a donut. I'm very hungry now. Double donut. Delicious. Okay, this is very cool when you're fighting two at once. That's really neat. Oh no! I should not have stunned the donuts. Because Nero couldn't let the time Tatari said the Mark 14 Boil Master was the best kettle she'd ever had go. Thermocoil Boil Buster. Oh! Did Nero make those? That's so cool. Artificial Enigma, the Tycoon. Oh my god. And it's playing the Alexander music. Oh my god, this is awesome. They made it, oh my god. They made their own Alexander. That's amazing. Wow. Nero got into a kettle arms race with the ironworks in the bad future. That's amazing. Wow. This dungeon is amazing. Whoa! Temporal stasis sequence initiated. That's cool as hell. Pew! Well, this certainly explains how they got Graha here. Oh my god, that's cool. Pew! How does this game keep getting cooler? Yeah. One Direction. God, that's such a cool effect. Beep. Yeah. Should be fine here, maybe. Boom, blood lily. God, that's cool. This 1 pixel is safe, maybe. I'm fine. Yeah. Wow, this place is awesome. Well, I was expecting a big AoE. Lasers! Oh god, no. That's not good. La la la! Oh, that was amazing. The other great thing is at some point the kettle got weaponized. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, jeez. That was so cool. Wow. That was amazing. Thank you for the run, that was so cool. Yeah, I adore the Alexander soundtrack. It's so good. I don't think I need that. I think I have better. Yeah, I'll just read that. That was amazing. That was amazing. Well, that was an adventure. Woo. Excellent work. Not only did you reveal the cause of the ethereal fluctuations, you were able to remove the threat entirely. Thanks to you, the researchers have already completed their preliminary observations. Their findings were somewhat surprising. The Crystal Tower appears not to have been created by the Ronkins or any other known civilization. Its origins are veiled in mystery, much like the Exarch and yourself. Forgive me, it is not the time for idle speculation. We have, however, recovered an artifact. Though its purpose is unclear, it may even be purely decorative. Yes. You did this side dungeon after the MSQ, expecting it to just be side fluff. And then it has all this crazy lore about Graha's timeline. Yeah, it's amazing. Wow. Have you ever encountered anything like this? Has come to carry out our plan. This will be my last recording. With the tower activated and the temporal displacement apparatus online, All that remains is to throw the switch and pray. I'm sorry. I truly am. I wish there was another way. But you are our best chance of success, our only hope. Your gift will allow you to become one with the tower and survive the journey through time and space. Were our technology as advanced as that of the Alligans, perhaps we could have gone with you. Alas, it was not to be. But when you are finally reunited, all of the hardship, all of the sacrifice will have been worth it, I'm sure. Just promise me you'll spare a thought for those you leave behind. And we'll be thinking of you, too, for as long as this world lasts, though I fear it will not be for much longer. This is Biggs, third of his name, 18th President of Garland Ironworks, signing off. May the 12 be at your side, Grahatia. Aww. A person's voice coming from a machine. To be honest, I cannot make head nor tail of it. Do you have any idea what that was about? It's a long story. Yes, it made perfect sense. Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Yes, I can tell that you know more than you are letting on. Very well. I will not begrudge you your secrets. Though one thing was clear, even to me. The people who left the message were facing a great catastrophe. They placed their faith in the Crystal Tower, in much the same way we have done, ever since the Flood of Light. Our prayers for salvation were answered when you and the Exarch returned the night to us and freed us from the terror of the Sin Eaters. I sense that this was all made possible by those people from a time long forgotten. We should do our utmost to learn more of them. Perhaps the researchers will uncover more of these messages. In any case, you have performed admirably in service of the Crystarium. We may have need of your strength and guidance in days to come. Until then, fare you well. Oh, I get both of them. Nice. Imagine the first option coming out a little choked up. Oh yeah, that one cutscene when we saw the Exarch reading Edmund's memoir, and a guy who looked like Biggs was protecting him. Ah, that was the same Biggs. Ah, and that was cool. How does this game have so much just well-made stuff in it? I'm still reeling from Ironworks branded Alexander. They just made their own. Why not? Wow. And the kettle arms race. Oh my god. That was amazing. I was expecting incredible music. I wasn't expecting the rest of it. Alright. Thank you very much for helping me with all that. That was awesome. Alright, so next time we will continue Eden. Up as far as we can, because it sounds like we're going to be locked out before the third wing. So we'll finish off the second wing. And then we'll maybe do a class quest, maybe do the other level 80 dungeon. There was one over in... I think it was over in Yulmore that I could unlock. Might do that one next time as well. Alright, I'll see if there's anyone that I should raid. Oh, we got Jordan streaming. Could send yous to Jordan. Willow's streaming. I'll send you to Jordan Rasco today. She's currently watching Only Connect, which is a very goofy game show. Oh, actually, no, she's in a hype train at the moment, which is you pay money and see different characters attack her car. It's pretty good. It's really well made. Yeah, I love how Lord Edmund's memoir survived to give the people of the future some measure of hope. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Alright, thank you all very much for watching. And I shall see you all next time. See ya.